person or Albert Einstein, anybody, you name any great person you feel, he also has the same amount of time available, but they became great. So we can never complain about the time, I don't have enough time or I don't have enough money, nothing like that. Okay, today is the birthday of the great freedom fighter Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. He's a scholar, Islamic theologian, independence activist. Azad was one of the main organizers of the Darshana Satyagraha in 1931 and emerged as one of the most important national leaders of the time, prominently leading the causes of Hindu-Muslim unity as well as espousing secularism and socialism. He served as Congress president from 1940 to 1945, during which the Quit India Rebellion was launched. Azad was imprisoned together with the entire Congress leadership. He also worked for Hindu-Muslim unity through the Al Hilal newspaper. And he says educationists should build the capacities of the spirit of inquiry, creativity, entrepreneurial, and moral leadership among students and become their role model. And he also says education imparted by heart can bring revolution in the society. But we never think about heart. We always think about mind and brain. Okay, so that is something lagging in our educational system. That's why the ethics and morals, nobody care about it, because there is no roots for that in our education. Okay, today is the lecture 33. And we'll quickly recollect what we have done. So we will just have a repetition of what we have done yesterday or in the last class. Yeah. And any system which is not at environment can do some work because of the gradients it exists between its properties and the environment conditions. Whenever there is gradient, there is a possibility for doing work. It can be any property gradient. And in general, suppose if the pressure is high, and suppose I have a PV diagram, and environment is P0, and any other P here you have, any spontaneous process. Spontaneous process means I am not doing any work. It is doing work because of the gradient available. Okay, so naturally it goes in this way. Expansion. Expansion is spontaneous. Compression is not spontaneous. I have to spend work on it. So V increase and P decrease. Okay, V increase and P decrease. So always dP by dV is less than 0. It can never be greater than 0. It is possible. It need not be P need not be higher than P0. Okay, sometimes if it is at different value less than P0, here also there is a possibility of having spontaneous thing. Okay, so P to P0 it will try to go. So P to P0 is an increase in dP, and so volume decrease. Okay, so it goes like this. So P decrease, P increase and volume decrease. So again dP by dV less than 0. So always for any spontaneous process, right, dP by dV is always less than 0. This is an important point you have to remember. Okay, suppose it comes to temperature. If you take TS diagram, and if this is T0, again, if there is some higher temperature, if system has higher temperature, this also will be going with increase in entropy, right? dT by ds is less than 0. T decrease and S increase. Okay, so any spontaneous process on a TS diagram will be having negative slope. Okay, this is something I wanted to tell. And Another thing is, so whenever it is deviating from the environment, it can do work, and as it approaches towards the environment, its available energy gradually decrease because the gradient decrease. And once it reaches the environment, then there won't be any more available energy. So that's why the environment is called as the dead state, or the system came to dead state with the environment. Okay, so that is it. So we talk about available energy, which is also called as exergy. So if there is a heat transfer, how much is the available energy during heat transfer? Okay, available energy for heat. So whenever I have this T1 heat engine, U0, W, okay. So I will get the maximum work when it is reversible. So I can write reversible heat engine. So W becomes W max. So W max or W reversible is the available energy or exergy. Exergy is X. And Q2 is unavailable energy. So if I draw PS diagram, so this is unavailable energy, and this is available energy. So Q1, so the heat that is supplied is equal to available energy plus unavailable energy, and this is W max plus this is Q2. And this Q2 is nothing but T naught ds, where ds is this. So the area under this lower line is the T naught ds. So T naught ds is the unavailable energy. Available energy is W max, and the total is the heat that is supplied. So when there is heat available, out of the total heat that is supplied to an engine, some of it is available energy, that is the maximum work that it can develop with that, and the remaining is unavailable energy. As I told, so if I have practical one, so WU, that is useful work, will be less than reversible work. So it is because of irreversibility. So irreversibility is equal to W reversible minus W useful. And that's where we define what is called as second law efficiency, which is equal to WU by W reversible. And dividing this by Q1 and dividing this by Q1, I will get first law efficiency by Carnot efficiency. Okay, this is for a heat engine. So in the same way, I can write the second law efficiency for a refrigerator or heat pump that we have done in the last class. Okay, we will see again available energy for W. For heat we have done for W. That is when I have higher pressure. So that we have seen like this, if I have in this way, and pressure here and P naught here. And so the W, which is equal to PdV, this is equal to P minus P naught into dV plus P naught dV. And this is the one which is useful work out of this W. And this P naught dV is what is called as surrounding work. And this is available energy, and this is unavailable energy out of the work. And if I have potential energy and kinetic energy, so these are equal to available energy. So that is x of P is equal to half mc square, and sorry, and x of potential energy is mg. Check. So x of heat is equal to 1 minus T naught by T into Q, and x of W is equal to W minus okay. So this is the way we have exergy for different things. So if I have a system based on which energies we have, so this is the total exergy. This is also okay. And also we have shown in the last class that as temperature decrease, this reservoir temperature decrease, the available energy decrease or unavailable energy increase. So we have seen that if this is T1 and this is T naught, and if this is T1 dash, and for the amount of so if this is Q1 and this is delta S, right? And with when the reservoir temperature decrease, the Q1 will become like this, right? So which is the area under it will be equal to Q1 here if I take. Now my delta S dash increase, or the Q2. Yes.
Sir, you took W1 as Q1.
It's in, okay. Q1, it is up to the, okay, up to bottom. Okay, up to bottom. Okay, what I want to say is here Q2 for the first cycle and Q2 dash for the second cycle. If you see Q2 dash is greater than Q2, so that is unavailable energy increase. Okay, so it naturally available energy decrease, and yeah, that if W is the first cycle work and W dash is the second cycle work, and W minus W dash becomes the reversibility. Okay, because I cannot transfer at this high temperature. I am having some finite temperature difference between the reservoir temperature and maybe boiler temperature. So because of this, I am losing, and that is irreversibility. Okay. And so if I try to get the exergy for a closed system, so which is having both work and heat. So we have seen that delta W is equal to PdV is equal to P minus P naught dV plus P naught dV, and this is equal to delta W boundary, that is boundary work or useful work, or delta W, okay, useful I will put useful 1, and plus P naught dV. And for the, because I have something like this, and here it is running a heat engine, and this is at T naught, And here this is P and T, which is greater than P naught and T naught. This is P naught. So here I will have WU, and here I will have WHE, delta WH. Okay. So delta WHE is equal to 1 minus T by T naught into delta Q, or delta Q minus delta Q by, or P naught by T. So delta Q by, so delta Q is negative here. So this will become delta Q. This becomes T naught delta S ds, like this. And the first law becomes delta Q is equal to du plus delta W, and this is minus. And if you substitute them here, so we are going to get delta W total, which is equal to delta WB plus delta WHE, so is equal to minus du plus P naught du minus like this we will get. So when you integrate it, so I'm going to get exergy is equal to u minus u naught minus plus p naught into u minus v naught minus t naught into s minus s. So this becomes the exergy of the closed system. And when you come for X for open system, so X for closed system plus flow work will get, and X for closed system. So this becomes u minus v naught plus p naught into v minus v naught minus t naught into s minus s naught plus v into p minus p naught. So if you combine this and this, so we will P naught V gets cancelled. We are going to get PV minus P naught V naught. And combining these two, we will get U plus PV minus U naught plus P naught V naught minus T naught into S minus S naught. So that is H minus H naught minus T naught into S minus S naught. But in both the cases, we can have potential energy and kinetic energy also. So I have to add half mv square of mc square plus mgz. And when we take it for per unit mass flow, so small x flow, this is written as psi. Psi is equal to h minus h naught minus t naught into s minus s naught plus half c square plus g. And the previous one also, here also we can write per unit mass flow, it becomes actually phi. Phi is equal to u minus u naught plus p naught into v minus v naught minus t naught into s minus s naught. Okay, like here half mc square plus mgz. So here plus c square by 2 plus gz. In this way, we will get what is the exergy and for a closed system and for an open system. And if you want to find out change in exergy, and for a closed system, x2 minus x1 is equal to like this we'll get. And unit mass, or unit mass, it will be phi2 minus phi1, v2 minus v1, plus p naught into v2 minus v1, minus t naught into s2 minus s1, plus half c2 square minus c1 square, plus 3 into z2 minus z2. Like this, you will get change in exergy for a closed system. And for an open system, only thing instead of u2 minus u1, you will get h2 minus h1. Okay. Okay. And again for unit mass, it will become psi 2 minus psi1 is equal to h2 minus h1 minus t naught into s2 minus s1 plus half c2 square minus c1 square plus g into z2 minus z. Okay, like this you will get. And we will see about now XSG destruction. Because whenever any process that takes place, it is XSG destruction and entropy generation both will be done in the same time. For every process, there will be entropy generation and there will be XSG destruction. That is, some available energy is lost. That is called as XSG destruction. And this is also called as irreversibility. And this is also called as lost work. Okay, all mean the same. Okay, the books may write in different way. And if I want to relate, because I told you for everything there will be entropy generation will be there. Whenever there is entropy generation, there will be XSG destruction. Can we relate these two? So when you want to relate these two, we consider an isolated system. So an isolated system. When you take an isolated system, okay, mass balance means for an isolated system, M1 equal to M2. Okay, there is no change in the mass because it is isolated. Similarly, energy balance. So E1 equal to E2. There will not be any change in the energy also because it is isolated from the surroundings. So when you take entropy balance, then S2 minus S1 is equal to Sgen. Okay. So there will be some change in the entropy of initial entropy and final entropy, and there will be some entropy generation. And when you come to exergy balance, So we have x2 minus x1 is equal to, we write again the formula v2 minus v1 plus t naught into v2 minus v1 minus t naught into s2 minus s1. Okay, kinetic energy process. And if you see here, there is nothing here, there is nothing boundary work, only T naught into S2 minus S1. So this is equal to, this X2 minus X1 is exergy destruction, and this is minus T naught, S2 minus S1 is S10. Okay, so this is the expression for irreversibility or exergy destruction. This is T naught into S gen. The quantity, how much it is destroyed means T naught into S gen. So in general, we will not write minus X destroyed is equal to T naught S gen. Because how much exergy is destroyed is positive. Similarly, how much entropy generated is positive. So we will write like this: X destroyed is equal to T naught S gen. So this is an important thing. So what here is, so for every S gen is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so X destroyed is actually less than or equal to 0. Okay, if you come to that, because X destroyed is equal to minus T naught S gen. Okay, so S gen is always greater than or equal to 0. So X destroyed is always less than or equal to 0. So if exergy destroyed is less than 0, or it can be equal to 0, or it can be greater than 0. So one thing is, for an isolated system, X destroyed can never be less than 0. Okay. Sorry, X destroyed. Exergy always gets destroyed, entropy gets generated. Something on here. Yeah, okay. There is something logical error. X2 minus X1 is equal to minus T naught S gen. S gen is greater than or equal to 0. Minus T naught S gen is less than or equal to 0. X destroyed means X2 is always less. Okay, here something I think wrong. Okay, here what is X destroyed is X1 minus X2 is X destroyed. Okay, because initially I have more available energy, later I will have less available energy. So X destroyed is X1 minus X2, not X2 minus X1. Okay, so this is okay. This is minus X destroyed is minus T naught S gen, and so X destroyed is greater than or equal to 0. X destroyed is greater than or equal to 0. Is that clear? Maybe I confused people. And the X always gets destroyed, and that is positive because it is always gets reduced. and whatever is reduced, that is positive. Okay. Okay, so here X destroyed is greater than or equal to 0. It must be always positive. So X destroyed less than 0 is impossible. This is impossible process. X destroyed equal to 0 is ideal or reversible process. X destroyed greater than 0 is a real or practical process. Okay, this is about the XSG destruction. Is everything clear? Is it okay? Yeah, ask me, Ravant. Is it? Can XSG be considered as a process? XSG is not a process. XSG is a value or property a system has. Still, I think it's not clear. Okay, can XSG be considered as a process happening at atmospheric pressure condition, as the XSG equation is the same as energy equation with P equal to P naught? XSG equation and energy equation are not same. Energy equation, there will not be entropy at all there. Haven't, is it clear? Because there is H2 minus H1 or mv square, half mv square, it doesn't mean both are same. Okay. Not my addressing. Okay, okay. Right. Okay, that is the way. Actually, once, okay, I will consolidate, okay, to that confusion of energy equation, and this also will go. And now I will write the generalized equations of mass balance, energy balance, entropy balance, exergy balance, and what is the simplification for each cases, because this is must be clear. Suppose in fluid mechanics, if you have the clarity or understanding of Navier-Stokes equation, the continuity equation, momentum equation, actually energy equation also will be there. All of them, if you understand the complete fluid mechanics or thermodynamics or heat transfer or any thermal subject, will be very clear or easy to understand. So we will write the generalized equations. Okay, general mass balance equation. So I can have a general system, and I will take an open system. There can be number of inlets and exits. So MVR and MI or something like that. So here, this is the control volume, right? So there may be W and there may be Q like this. Okay. So here mass balance, it doesn't matter about the energy transfers. So mass balance, if you write the rate of change of mass of the control volume is equal to the net mass entering minus the net mass leaving. Okay. So number of masses may be entering, number of masses may be leaving. And so this is m dot E, right? This is kgs per second. And this is the generalized equation. So if you take steady flow, so then d by dt will be 0. So I will get sigma mi dot is equal to sigma mv dot, right? So the total mass entering equal to total mass leaving. Because of that, there is no change of mass of the control volume with time. Okay. And if I have a single stream, that is only one stream entering and one stream leaving, and that is if you take it as 1 and 2. So m1, m dot 1 equal to m dot 2 is equal to m dot 2. Okay, so if it is a closed system, so mass of the system is equal to constant. Okay, so this is the generalized mass balance equation for any situation. Okay, so it covers everything. In the same way, if you can write general energy balance equation. Again, if you take a general one, okay, like this. Okay, and so if the rate of change of energy of the control volume is equal to the amount of energy entering and amount of energy leaving. So sigma m dot into h plus c square by 2 plus gz at the inlet or inlets, sum of the inlets, minus sigma m dot into h plus c square by 2 plus gz at the exits, and plus there will be whatever heat is added and minus whatever work is done. So that will be the increase in the energy of the system. So this is the generalized energy equation for any type of system. And then again, if I take steady state, then the rate of change of energy of the control volume is equal to 0. And so dECB by dt equal to 0. And I can write this as q dot is equal to, take other things to the other side. So I will get m plus h square by, sorry, m into m dot into h plus c square by 2 plus gz exit minus m dot h plus c square by 2 plus gz inlet plus w dot. Okay, so this is the steady state steady flow energy equation. And if I have a single stream, then I will write m2 and m1 there. So I will get q dot is equal to m dot into h2 minus h1 plus c2 square minus c1 square by 2 plus g into z2 minus z1. This is 1 q dot 2 and plus 1 w dot 2. And if I take it per unit mass, so divide by m dot throughout, so I will get 1 small q2 is equal to h2 minus h1 plus c2 square minus c1 square by 2 plus g into z2 minus z1 plus 1 w2. Okay, like this. And if I make it for a closed system, the only thing is flow work will not be there, means h2 minus h1 becomes u2 minus u1. Okay, and so if I write for again whole 1 q2 is equal to m into, and if change of kinetic energy and potential energy are neglected, because for a closed system normally many times it will not be there, I can just write like this plus 1 w2. And again per unit mass, so 1 q2 is equal to u2 minus u1 plus 1 w2. Okay, so this is kilojoule per kg, This is kilojoules. And if I write in rate equation, it will be kilowatts. Okay. And this will be kilojoule per kg, like this. This is general energy balance equation. And in the same way, we can write general entropy balance equation. So again, I can have something like this. I have okay. And so the rate of change of total entropy of the system is equal to, again, entropy enters and leaves through the mass. So sigma mi dot Si minus sigma mi dot Sc. So again, there can be work done and there can be heat added. So there will not be any change of entropy due to work done, but because of heat transfer, plus sigma q dot, if there are number of things, q dot k by pk. And what else will be there? Plus, so there may be entropy generation. Yes, that's done. Okay, this is the generalized entropy balance equation. And again, if I take for steady state, so dSCV by dt will be 0. And I can write this as S dot gen is equal to sigma m dot ESU minus sigma m dot ISI minus sigma q dot k pk, right? And again, if there is a single stream, then S dot gen is equal to m dot into S2 minus S1 q dot k pk. And if I have per unit mass flow, so this will become S gen is equal to S2 minus S1 minus sigma qk by tk. Okay, so this is kilojoule per kg Kelvin, and this is kilowatts per Kelvin. So in this way, we can have the generalized entropy balance equation. And finally, we can see the exergy balance equation also. Okay, so here exergy again, I can have m dot I, m dot P, W, Q, like that. And so there can be number of heat transfers and number of work transfers, or number of work transfer normally only be one, and number of inlet flows and exit flows. Again, there will be, and here there will be X destroyed will be there. Previously S gen will be there, here X destroyed will be there. And so d FCV by dt, the rate of change of exergy of the system is equal to, so there will be change in exergy because of heat, because of work, because of the mass flow. Okay, so exergy because of the heat, so I can maybe first we will, okay, right, like this, 1 minus I'll write T naught by Tk into Q dot K. So this is exergy due to heat, and minus W dot, because this is useful work, minus, we will take out the surrounding work. The change in the volume. Okay, I will write PVCV. It is not closed system. That's why I'm writing dVCV by dt. And due to mass flow plus sigma m dot I psi I minus sigma m dot E psi E because of mass. And then there will be some X is destroyed. So because that is to be removed, then only I will get what is the actual rate of change of exergy of the control volume. Okay, so this is the generalized equation, general exergy balance equation. The exergy change because of the heat transfer, and exergy change due to the work transfer, and the exergy change due to the mass transfer, and the exergy destroyed during any process, whatever it's at. And here again, I can take steady state. So steady state means again dxCV by dt 0, and dvCV by dt also will become 0. And okay, here I will write the sigma because number of heat transfers may be there. Okay, so here I will write sigma 1 minus T naught by Tk Qk dot minus W dot plus sigma m dot I psi I minus sigma m dot E psi E minus x dot destroy is equal to 0. Equal to 0. And if I have again a single stream, then like this. And if I again have per unit mass, one minus T naught by Tk, here small q will be there, and minus W will be there, and plus psi 1 minus psi 2 minus x destroyed is equal to 0. So this is per unit mass. And so another thing is when x destroyed equal to 0, then W is equal to W reversible. W is equal to W reversible. So we can see what happens in the equations. If you just substitute x destroyed is equal to 0, and okay, by this the exergy destruction balance is over. Okay, so we are seeing what is the expression for reversible work. Okay. So when x destroyed is equal to 0, W is equal to W reversible. And so here in the previous equation, if you substitute, you will get W dot reversible is equal to m dot into psi 1 minus psi 2 plus sigma 1 minus T naught by Tk Qk dot. Like this we will get, just if you see the previous one here. So in this equation, rate equation, if you substitute x destroyed is 0 and w dot is w reversible, then you will get like this. Okay, only w is taking out. So these two will be on the right side, one side, and w dot on the other side. Okay, so if the process is adiabatic and w dot reversible is equal to m dot into psi 1 minus psi 2. That is just a change in exergy, or x1 minus x2 is w dot reversible. We know that so initially I have some available energy, and if I extract some maximum work, I will have the remaining as available energy or exergy. Okay, so this is the way we get the expression for reversible work. Is everything okay?
Yes, sir.
Entropy balance for closed system. Huh? Okay. That is exergy balance. Huh? For closed system means there will not be any mass flow. Okay, only the mass flow term will not be there. Instead of okay, m into phi 1 minus phi 2 will be there. Okay, suppose closed system. I will get 1 minus T naught by Tk sigma Q dot K minus W dot. Here plus m into phi 1 minus phi 2 minus x dot destroyed is equal to 0. Okay, this is the way we get. Again, per unit mass flow, you can write sigma 1 minus T naught by Tk Qk minus W plus phi 1 minus phi 2 minus x destroyed is equal to 0. Okay, something like this. Is that okay? So instead of psi 1 minus psi 2, I will get phi 1 minus phi 2. Instead of rate here, it's only just mass I will get. So here also actually there will not be any dots. Okay, here there will not be any dots. Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, right. Okay, we'll stop here actually. We will do problems in the next class, and we will have a nice story, one real story, and he's one among us. K, okay, it's not, it's like mi psi I or mi, that I is inlet or exit, isn't it? In the same way, number of heat transfers are there at different boundary, right? So K is, it can be any number, sigma is put now, so K is a variable, it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, how many it can be. It represents the number of heat transfers. Is it okay? You need not write K. Then there is remove the sigma. There is only one heat transfer. Okay, Mahendra? No. Q is now nowhere related to stream. Okay, stream is only for mass flow. That's why I have Q for closed system also, and sigma for closed system also. Okay, right. So it is a story about one nice fellow, Naganaresh Karatura. And it is his narration. He has written his story. It's like a biopic. You can just. I spent the first 7 years of my life in Tiparu, a small village in Andhra Pradesh, on the banks of the river Godavari. My father Prasad was a lorry driver, and my mother Kumari a housewife. Though they were illiterates, my parents instilled in me and my elder sister Sirisha the importance of studying. Looking back, one thing that surprises me now is the way my father taught me when I was in the first and second standards. My father would ask questions from the textbook and I would answer them. At the time, I didn't know he could not read and write, but to make me happy, he helped me in my studies. Another memory that doesn't go away in the floods in the is the floods in the village and how I was carried on top of a buffalo by my uncle. I also remember plucking fruits from a tree that was full of thorns. I used to be very naughty, running around and playing all the time with my friends. I used to get a lot of scolding and for disturbing the elders who slept in the afternoon. The moment they started scolding, I would run away to the fields. I also remember finishing my schoolwork fast in class and sleeping in the teacher's lap. On January 11, 1993, it's the turning day for him, for his life. When we had the Sankranti holidays, my mother took my sister and me to a nearby village for a family function. From there, we were to go with our grandmother to our native place, but my grandmother did not come there. As there were no buses that day, my mother took a lift in my father's friend's lorry. As there were many people in the lorry, he made me sit next to him close to the door. Due to faulty door latch, it opened wide, throwing me out. As I fell, my legs got cut by the iron rods protruding from the lorry. Nothing happened to me except scratches on my legs. The accident had happened just in front of a big private hospital, but they refused to treat me, saying it was an accident case. Then a police constable who was passing by took us to a government hospital. First, I underwent an operation as my small intestine got twisted. The doctors also bandaged my legs. I was there for a week. When the doctors found that gangrene had developed and it had reached up to my knees, they asked my father to take me to a district hospital. There, the doctors scolded my parents a lot for neglecting the wounds and allowing the gangrene to develop. But what could my ignorant parents do? In no time, both my legs were amputated up to the hips. I remember waking up and asking my mother, "Where are my legs?" I also remember that my mother cried when I asked the question. I was in the hospital for 3 months. I don't think my life changed dramatically after I lost both my legs because all at home uh, were doting on me. I was enjoying all the attention rather than pitying myself. I was happy that I got a lot of fruits and biscuits. I never wallowed in self-pity. The day I reached my village, my house was flooded with curious people. All of them wanted to know how a boy without legs looked. But I was not bothered. I was happy to see so many of them coming to see me, especially my friends. All my friends saw to it that I was part of all the games they played. They carried me everywhere. I believe in God. I believe in destiny. I feel He plans everything for you. If not for the accident, we would not have moved from the village to Tanaku, a town. There I joined a missionary school, and my father built a house next to the school. Till the 10th standard, I studied in that school. If I had continued in Tiparu, I may not have studied after the 10th. I may have started working as a farmer or someone like that after my studies. I am sure God had other plans for me. When the school was about to reopen, my parents moved from Tiparu to Tanaku, a town, and admitted both of us in a missionary school. They decided to put my sister also in the same class, though she is 2 years older. They thought she could take care of me if both of us were in the same class. My sister never complained. She is my best friend. She would be there for everything. Many of my friends used to tell me, "You are so lucky to have such a loving sister." There are many who do not care for their siblings. She carried me in the school for few years, and after a while, my friends took over the task. When I got the tricycle, my sister used to push me around the school. My life, I would say, was normal, as everyone treated me like a normal kid. I never wallowed in self-pity. I was a happy boy and competed with others to be to be on top, and others also looked at me as a competitor. I was inspired by two people when in school. My maths teacher, Pramod Lal, who encouraged me to participate in various local talent tests, and a brilliant boy called Chowdhury, who was my senior. When I came to know that he had joined Gotham Junior College to prepare for IIT JEE, it became my dream too. I was school first in 10th, scoring 542. Because I topped in the state exams, Gotham Junior College waived the fee for me. Pramod Sir's recommendation also helped. The fee was around 50,000 rupees per year, which my parents could never afford. Living in a residential school was a big change for me because till then my life centered around home and school, and I had my parents and sister to take care of all my needs. It was the first time that I was interacting with the society. It took 1 year for me to adjust to the new life. There, my inspiration was a boy called KKS Bhaskar, who was in the top 10 in IIT JEE exams. He used to come to our school to encourage us. Though my parents didn't know anything about Gotham Junior School or IIT, they always saw to it that I was encouraged in whatever I wanted to do. If results were good, they would praise me to the skies, and if bad, they would try to see something good in that. They did not want me to feel bad. They are such wonderful, supportive parents. Though my overall rank in the IIT JEE was not that great, 992, I was fourth in the physically handicapped category, so I joined IIT Madras to study computer science. Here my role model was Karthik, who was also my senior in school. I looked up to him during my year at IIT Madras. He had asked for attached bathrooms for those with special needs before I came here itself. So when I came here, the room had attached bath. He used to help me and guide me a lot when I was there. I evolved as a person in these 4 years, both academically and personally. It has been a great experience studying here. The people I was interacting with were so brilliant that I felt privileged to sit along with them in the class. Just by speaking to my lab mates, I gained a lot. There are more good people in society than bad ones. It is a famous thing he always says. Words are inadequate to express my gratitude to Professor Pandurangan and all my lab mates. All were simply great. I was sent to Boston along with four others for our internship by Professor Pandurangan. It was a great experience. I did not want to pursue PhD as I wanted my parents to take rest now. Morgan Stanley selected me first, but I preferred Google because I wanted to work in pure computer science, algorithms, and game theory. And now he's working in Google. And also he says, I am lucky. And you know why I say I'm lucky? He says, I get help from total strangers without me asking for it. Once after my second year at IIT, I with some of my friends was traveling in a train for a conference. We met a kind gentleman called Sundar in the train. He has been taking care of my hostel fees from then on. I have no mention about the Jaipur foot. I have to mention about Jaipur foot. I had Jaipur foot when I was in third standard. After 2 years, I stopped using them as I had almost no stems to my legs. It was very tough to tie them to the body. I found walking with Jaipur foot very, very slow. Sitting also was a problem. I found my tricycle faster because I am one guy who wants to do things faster. One great thing about the hospital is they don't think their role ends by just fixing the Jaipur foot. They arranged for livelihood for all. They asked me what help I needed from them. I told them at the time if I got into IIT, I needed financial help from them. So from the day I joined IIT Madras, my fees were taken care of by them. So my education at the IIT was never a burden to my parents, and they could take care of my sister's nursing studies. And after my first year, when I went home, two things happened at IIT in the institute without my knowledge. I got a letter from a department that they had arranged a lift and ramps in the department for me. It also said that if I come a bit early and checked whether it met with my requirements, it would be good. Second surprise was the dean, Professor Idichandi, and the student's general secretary, Prasad, had located a place that sold powered wheelchairs. The cost was 55,000 rupees at the time. What they did was they did not buy the wheelchair. They gave me the money so that the wheelchair belonged to me and not to the institute. My life changed after that. I felt free and independent. That's why I say I'm lucky. God has planned things for me and take care of me at every step. Okay, this is the guy, Naganaresh Karatura. He says the world is full of good people. I have always been lucky, he says. Okay, this is so inspiring story. One among us in IIT Chennai. Right? Okay, thank you very much.